Hello guys, what's going on? Out of nowhere, it would seem, Rock has finally made good on the promise to release the third relic for YSG and the other archers. So I've done some tests to see if YSG considered meta once more. We shall start, of course, with looking at the third relic. You know what? It's pretty damn good. Second relic gives 20% archer defense, 5% skill damage. You don't get any more defense for the third relic, but you do get 7% extra skill damage. That's pretty damn good. That's like an extra commander skill, basically. It's a pretty big upgrade. The other ones we've got released now, just to go quickly through them. El Cid, who was useless before and will continue being useless now, I presume, has a 10% extra archer attack factor. Yep. Good work, El Cid. And finally, much less useless, I believe. Where is he? Old Thutmose. Thutmose, commander close to my heart. This is a pretty big upgrade, actually. He's got an extra 20% archer attack. His archer health is already at 20%, which is a nice little buff. I assume it's not going to do much, but if you've got a max Thutmose because you're a genius from earlier in the game, maybe he'll go into one of your marches while you're waiting for someone else to get there. Anyway, the main crux is in YSG, the little commander who could. Mine has been on the bench for so long now, he's still involved in barbarian chaining. He ain't been doing any kills for ages, been using all my legendary commander sculptures, making me regret it, but having this extra 12% skill damage, so he's now dealing 62% extra skill damage. I tested it out to see whether or not he could now be considered back to the meta. The way I tested it out, thanks to my good friend Vivi here, we both took all our equipment off our commanders, took all our armaments off our commanders, and ran him running Nevsky, Joan of Arc, me running all the archer pairs. It's not the greatest dueling march, Nevsky, Joan of Arc, nor are archers particularly good dueling marches, and I must preface this by saying that YSG, just like Zhuge, is particularly good when it comes to large field ball fights, but you know, we couldn't simulate that at such short notice, so we went through this instead. 100k tier 5 troops each, yep, no special buffs, whatnot. So Zhuge Herman beat Nevsky Joan. I then tested Zhuge YSG, which then lost to Nevsky Joan. No surprise there. Zhuge Herman is very much the meta march, I think. I also run Boudica Ashurbanipal, which I've been very happy with. Boudica Ashurbanipal beat his Nevsky Joan of Arc. Again, we did 6 tests, then I had to go for something, but 6 tests isn't the greatest data set, but it's nice to get an indication. So Boudica Ashurbanipal beat Nevsky Joan of Arc quite handily. But Boudica YSG beat Nevsky Joan of Arc very handily. If we look through there, less heal factor because it lasted a shorter period of time. But this was the single greatest imbalance in the battles. I then did another battle with Boudica YSG to see if that was a one-off, and it kind of seemed a bit of a one-off because the Ashurbanipal, it was very similar to that report. I then tried Ashurbanipal YSG again with no anything on, and that lost to Nevsky Joan of Arc. So what can we learn from this? Well, we can learn it's a very small sample size, and it's perhaps best not to judge everything based on this. We can also learn you just shouldn't break up Zhuge Herman. They are the best archer pair. So if you're running one archer march, run Zhuge Herman. Don't worry too much about everything else, is my honest opinion. If, like me, you are running 2 archer pairs, though, you can look at Boudica YSG coming back in fashion, right? YSG has very much been a bench commander for a while now. This extra 7% skill damage. I use Boudica as my secondary, which seems to be the right move. Look at this. But Boudica YSG, I know it's only 2 things, and one of them was a very narrow improvement on Boudica Ashurbanipal. But this one could be a misnomer, but it is perhaps evidence that if you do have the museum currency available, getting your third YSG expertise and pairing him as part of your second archer march might not be the worst thing in the world. In terms of the archers we've got available to us, like the clear best, as we've established, everyone would agree, are Zhuge Herman. But when you've got Ashurbanipal, I mean, not many people have Ashurbanipal expertise, I would say that. I would say that Boudica YSG is looking at a pretty good second march now. People obviously you run 1 cav, 1 imp, 1 archer. If you've got 3 marches, if you've got 4, you probably run a second cav with Huo Woe William and Nevsky Joan of Arc as the two pairs. But if you're looking for a 5th March, yeah, let me extol the virtues of Boudica at YSG, right? Well, I'll do some more testing and I'll see if this was just a misnomer, but I am liking the look of this. YSG getting an upgrade. Everyone and their mother has got YSG lying around. Most people have Boudica because for so long Boudica was the best Archer March. You know what? I'm thinking Boudica YSG might just be 1 or 2 little tests, but they're looking pretty good. Wiz OSG meta? Maybe not meta, but can he slot into a 5th or maybe 6th March? Definitely. The 7% skill damage really helps. I'd be interested to look at anyone who's done some Thutmose testing. I don't think it'll be anywhere near as good. I've got some heads. I can't max him, and I don't intend to use gold heads on Thutmose, but I'd be interested to see if that 20% extra attack does anything. My bet is not much. I know Elcid will still remain toilet, so I don't worry too much about that. I hate Elcid so much, I make him wear these armaments. Just to show him, look, none of them have Archer stats. That is how much I hate Elcid. Anyway, YSG, is he meta? No. Is he a little better? Yeah, he's a little better. Right. Quick video, go forth and prosper.